This is your CBS 46 News Update, brought to you by West Shore Home.
Good morning, I'm Gurveer Dinza. Today, the Reverend C.T. Vivian is going to be laid to rest. He was a hero to so many. His courage in the face of hate will always be remembered by those who admired him most. Cordy Tyndall Vivian, known as C.T. Vivian, was a close friend and lieutenant of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the fight for civil rights in this country. Vivian was a minister who helped organize the famous Freedom Rides and marched for voting rights in Selma, Alabama. He resided here in Atlanta and founded the C.T. Vivian Leadership Institute. Today, his family, friends, and the world have a chance to pay their final respects.
C.T. Vivian is one of those unsung heroes. He is just as great in being unknown as those who are well known.
Knowing, what he did with the movement, you just knew that, there was no reason, there's no excuse not to go for everything, because he helped make a way where there was no way.
C.T. Vivian died last Friday at the age of 95 here in Atlanta. The funeral today is going to be private. We will be streaming it live here on CBS 46. Plans for a celebration of life are in the works now for the late Congressman John Lewis. He and C.T. Vivian passed away on the same day. Lewis's arrangements are going to be announced after Dr. Vivian is laid to rest. Now to the latest on the coronavirus. Cases here in Georgia have doubled. Hospitalizations have tripled in the last month. In the past 24 hours, Georgia saw 3,300 new cases. 81 people died, the second highest number reported so far in the pandemic. The state has now surpassed 150,000 cases.
Are you being sued by the governor?
I am personally being sued by the governor, but ironically, just before joining you, I had a very good conversation with the governor. So we've discussed where we disagree, and hopefully we can figure out a way to agree to disagree without having to play this out in court.
Looks like the lawsuit between Governor Kemp and Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms might be headed toward a settlement. Governor Kemp, of course, suing the mayor for exceeding his executive order when it comes to mask mandates when she issued that order during the pandemic. Last night on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Mayor Bottoms hinted that there might be a settlement. And right now there's a court hearing that is scheduled for Tuesday, but as you just heard the mayor say, they may work things out before that. Let's get the latest now on today's forecast with meteorologist Fred Campagna. We always have a beautiful sunrise in the morning, but then that heat really kind of takes over and those storms roll in.
It'll set in again this afternoon. The heat will anyway. The storms, though, likely to be more mist than hit this afternoon in most of North Georgia. Best chance of catching a storm is up in the mountains. Here's what we're looking at for today as the temperature climbs right through the 80s into the low 90s again. So this will be the 11th straight day with a high temperature 90 or greater. And the 90 plus likely to last through the weekend, but there is an end to this streak of 90-degree days in the 7-day forecast. Best chance of catching a strong gusty thunderstorm this afternoon is up in the mountains. Notice how there's not much action around the Atlanta metro area on our futurecast for today. A little bit more, though, popping up tomorrow afternoon, and that trend will continue into the weekend. So it looks like an unsettled last weekend of July for us. Here's your 7-day forecast. Low 90s Saturday and Sunday, 50% chance of afternoon storms. Still somewhat unsettled early next week. One more day in the 90s on Monday, and then it looks like Tuesday and Wednesday could actually feature high temperatures only in the 80s.
This has been your personal news update from CBS 46 News, brought to you by West Shore Home, Atlanta's one-day bath remodeler.